Well, I'm sitting here in my hammock. This is a place I like to sit and relax in the evening. It's the only quiet place. So I thought I'd bring my camera out here and make a little video while I'm doing so. I've got all my vices with me. Went to the store and I've got this little iced coffee and my vape pen and my bong, and I'm just kicking back and really enjoying this moment, and I thought I'd share it with the world. I'm really grateful for everything that I have. And over the last, I'd say 10 years or so, I've really learned how to fully see things for what they are. And I'm still working on it. What I mean by that isn't to see the corruption or see conspiracies or see the truth behind matters, but literally see, visually, things like the depth of a tree or the life of an insect, as it goes about its day. Just sitting there and getting down on your hands and knees and really just seeing things around you for what they are and how freaking amazing they are. I personally, I'm 40 years old and I still can't get over how amazing nature is. And I feel like so many people around me are just so wrapped up in the garbage of daily living that they've missed what life is. There's people out there who judge others and tell other people how to live and what'll make them happy and whatever. I hear it all the time. People are always judging me on my channel and telling me, oh, you're a druggie, or you're this, or you're that, or you believe this, or you must feel this. And all I can say is, you know what? I'm a happy person. I've got a great family, a great life. I can tell that when a person is that negative, that they're rubbing something of their own life off onto other people, and it's sad, but none of us can let that kind of crap get to us. If you truly love life and embrace life, you won't find yourself ever attacking people. And that's one thing I've realized is in the times of my life when I've felt negative or been down, those have been the times where I might leave a negative review or a negative comment on something, or, well, harumph, oh, bah humbug, my life sucks. I never would feel that way, but, the comment would reflect something like that, or saying something to somebody. And I really try to keep a positive outlook, but there are some really dumb people out there, some really dumb people. I'll take another bong hit and I'll give you an example. So I was walking down to the 7-Eleven here, and I passed one of those fold-out signs sitting out in front on the street for a place called Aaron's. And Aaron's is one of these rent-to-own appliance places. And it reminds me of this place. This had this commercials when I was growing up. It's called Rent Town, USA. And they'd say, the nice guys deliver. And, all these little, rent-to-own places. Anyhow, the thing that got me was how it says, Aaron's, take it home with $1 down. And then it has a little asterisk. And then it says, upon contract signing, see manager for details. And the whole rest of my trip, walking back, I was thinking about that sign. It's something so simple, but obviously made to fool people. And a person could say, well, no, there's an asterisk there. An intelligent person should be able to read. But the idea is to lure people in and to put small print on something. I've always been suspicious about any bottle, supplement, anything that says, can help with this, this, and this. Now, there are exceptions. If there's an asterisk and then below it says, not intended for, or the FDA, not FDA approved. Now, that's a required asterisk. That's something different. But I'm talking about when a company blatantly tries to fool you into thinking that something does something that it doesn't, or is something that it isn't. And it is the consumer's responsibility, of course, I mean, we can't blame the corporations for preying on people's stupidity, but we really can blame the individuals who make the decisions to, put these ads out. Others kind of play along with the game, but, advertising plays on people, and I'll tell you, it preys on people. I haven't been fooled by advertising in my whole life. I've never bought anything because it said it was popular. From the time I was young, I never really bought name brand stuff or cared. I kind of wore, hippie style clothes or Goodwill stuff through school, and from then on I just never cared. And it doesn't mean I don't like to dress nice once in a while, but it means that if I do dress nice, I can buy a suit at Goodwill for $20 instead of spending $200 on a t-shirt. And I had a good friend who was over one time, and he's the kind of guy who talks about, going on these retreats and these psychedelic journeys and these experiences and having these, rainbow gathering type meetings and stuff. And he's over there, and he said something about his jeans, how they were ripped or something, and he said, yeah, these are $400 jeans. And I said, what? I said, who the hell would pay $400 for a pair of jeans? And he's like, oh, well, these are good jeans. They'll last my entire life. And I was like, well, these jeans I have on, I've had for 20 years. And he's like, well, what kind are they? I'm like, they're just Levi's or something. They cost me $40. He's like, well, these are good jeans, And I was like, okay, that's cool. Then he said, my tank top was $150. And I looked at it. Was it a special tank top? No. Did it have any designs or anything special? No. It was just a white wife-beater tank top, and it blew my mind. I thought, it's not just the matter that someone spent this much, because at the time he was a dealer and he was making a lot of money and being stupid with his cash, but the fact that somebody would brag about spending that much, it really, it bums me out, because he's such a smart guy, but he thinks that it's cool to spend your money on things like that. I don't know. I'm not one to judge, and I understand if a person thinks that that's what's important, then that's what's important to them. I suppose it's not the amount of money you spend on something if it's a good product, but if you're buying a shirt just for the name, such as Hollister or juicy sweatpants that people wear, I mean, these things are just, look at me, trendy kind of things. Kind of reminds me of this idea of memes I was thinking of the other day, because I really don't like memes. I know everybody likes them, but I had this idea. It was like, look at meme, because that's how I feel that they are. They're like, look at meme. Is mine funny enough? Oh, how many Willy Wonka memes can I see with a different comment on it? And it's just funny. Just go along with it. But people really are they fall into line and they just kind of follow suit. They just do what everybody else is doing. And the people who are independent thinkers and who try to think outside the box and to maybe play the devil's advocate and consider the other side, we're the ones who get shafted and pushed aside and marginalized, I've had people, watch some of my videos and say, hey, oh man, I'm surprised you don't have more viewers and you should promote your channel here and here. And I was like, well, 2 reasons. First off, I don't want to promote my channel because I want to keep it small and intimate, at least to where people are interested and not just watching it for clickbait. And B, most people don't want to hear the kind of shit I talk about, especially when I talk about positive things, like positive thinking and the philosophy of life and living and being a good person. Those videos don't get very many views. People don't give a shit about that. But if I post something about, the end of the world, the apocalypse is coming, I'll probably get 10,000 views. And that's because people are just so obsessed with the negativity, It's like we've heard enough of the positivity. And I'm not saying everyone's that way, because of course a lot of people are much, the exact opposite. Many people, get too obsessed with the positive side of things. They think that everything's, candy and sugar, and it's just not, Life is ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster. Life is about taking charge of your life, taking charge of yourself, being something, being somebody. But it doesn't mean you have to accomplish anything in particular. It just means be yourself. Love yourself. Honor yourself and your surroundings and your friends and your family. I was talking with one of my subscribers earlier, and I was saying how I feel like he's kind of family, and it's because I feel that way about a lot of people on YouTube. And a few years back, I didn't feel the same way. I even made a video saying YouTube or online people can't be friends, that it's kind of a joke. And I just don't feel that way. Some of the people I've met, I feel like I've known forever. And I understand that it's because we're all what you might call old souls, people who really who have a different way of seeing things, and not better or worse, but just on a different level, and not at a superior level. I do not mean it that way, because I could debate that being ignorant a person may be better off in their life. Animals don't have to consider their mortality. They just live and do what they do, and they die. But humans, the more we consider, the more we think, the deep thinkers, and I consider myself a deep thinker because pretty much, 80% of my day when I'm not talking with somebody or in the middle of something or typing or writing, I'm thinking. I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking not about what I want or what my future's going to be like or what my past was like. Those are wasteful thinkings. I have little glimpses of both of those, where I want to be and where I've been, but I think about situations and circumstances and why we are the way we are. And I think I spend most of my time thinking about the human race and our place on this planet. I watched a show, I think it's In a Nutshell. It's one of those shows that I watch. I watch these little 3-minute science shows or informational philosophy channels. That's pretty much all I watch, if I do watch YouTube. And it was called Is War Over? And I watched it, and it was talking about how there's an average of about 2 large wars per century, and yada yada. Went on to the details of how 12 million Congolese were killed by the Belgians during the, past couple centuries, during the, slavery and the world wars, and millions of people who were killed. And in recent times, there really haven't been any wars, at least in the modern century yet, which you would think with 7 billion people, double the population of even recent history within our parents' lives. It's doubled, and here we are trying to figure out how to make it work, and borders are somewhat established to the point where most of the wars that are actually happening are civil wars. But there are no real nation-to-nation wars other than invasions, such as the U.S., and there are things going on. I'm not going to deny that. There are several conflicts, dozens of conflicts going on in the world right now. But as for major ground-moving wars with tanks and millions of people dying, it seems like they're going by the wayside. And then you look at crime in this nation. Where I live, the crime rate is actually down over the past several years, even though more and more people live here. And there's all these small positive aspects that we can see, that we might be able to have a future yet, that we don't have to fail ourselves and think that we're collapsing and that society's falling apart. Although we do have to educate those dumb people that don't know how to look for asterisks. I'll talk to y'all later.